But what a piece of shit episode of Raw that was. I mean, just fucking horrible. Just shitty. I mean, the Authority was there, just involved in everything, a single thing on the show, pretty much. And it was just a very shitty show. So of course we get the show started off with none other than who? Who? The Authority, of course, just hogging up more time on the show. So they come out to cut a promo, of course, and they announce it's a triple threat match now at the Rumble. Not much for a promo here, not that good. Expectedly it was pretty bad. You have Cena up there, I cut back on my word, I'm sorry, spewing a bunch of bullshit that I don't care about. Same thing with the Authority too, just spewing a bunch of bullshit. Then they announce a Barrett and Ziggler match. I mean, this is just fucking horrible. So yeah, for the next probably, at least till WrestleMania, we're going to get the Authority starting off every show probably. Every Raw probably. So that's great. So, shitty first segment there. Then we get Ziggler defeating Barrett to start off. You thought Barrett lost there, and then Kane comes out. Kane's back. Of course, Kane's back. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention this. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match, and then Barrett wins. And again, just a boring match. And this is what I'm talking about. The Authority's involved in every single goddamn thing on this show. I mean, it would be nice if the Authority could do their thing, which would still suck and shit, but that they weren't involved in every single thing in the show. It's like, I feel like they're trying to do this on purpose to us. I really think that I thought Vince is trying to make money, and they want to make money, and they want to be successful people. But I really think that they have a grudge, or at least Triple H does, with some of those fans, those so-called hardcore internet fans on the internet, who, aren't happy with his product, or don't like him anymore. I really think that he wants to make their lives hell. I don't know. I'm just bringing it up. I think it's a very probable theory that Triple H really has a grudge with the internet fans, because everything they do, it seems like it's to shit on us. Like, they don't push Ziggler, they don't push Cesaro, they don't push anybody that we like. All we get is Cena, Orton, Ryback, all those retards, Roman Reigns. So this was just a boring match. Why? Because Ziggler's acting like he's fucking hurt. I guess he was kayfabe hurt, but I mean, you can't have a good match when the guy's acting like he's hurt the whole time and he's got an injury, because you're just gonna get boring ass, rest holds and shit. That's all you get when somebody's doing an injury kayfabe like that. And it was boring. And then Barrett wins. Whoa, he wins. Like, 5-time champion, and he holds up like 5, like it's a big fucking deal. It's the Intercontinental Champion. It's a shit belt. It's a shit piece of title, and it fucking doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, when somebody's held the belt 5 times in fucking like 3 or 4 years, and he's a fucking jobber, the belt doesn't mean shit. When the likes of Curtis Axel have held it, the Santino's held it too before. That belt don't mean jack shit. So that was a pretty shitty match there. I'll give it like a star out of 5. Then we get the Ascension coming out, and they're just fucking weird. I mean, they're like, rah, rah, what the fuck are they doing, man? Then they cut this promo, like acting like they're tough shit. You're like, oh, we're better than the Road Warriors and shit, like trying to be controversial and then JBL is trying to put them over, and it's just not working. They're so weird. It's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with those two. They got like fucking like these weird vests on. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. I mean, this is better than the Matadors and the fucking Usos, but it's like a step up from those two. It's like a step up from the Usos in the New Day, but it's just weird. It's supposed to be like this scary gimmick or whatever. It's like this intimidating big guys, but it's just stupid and weird. So they beat these jobbers. I mean, here we go again. We debut people, and then they just face jobbers for a year. Why don't you debut somebody surprisingly and have them go to at least like the mid card right away, or at least to a higher level of just facing jobbers? I mean, look at Rusev. They debuted him back a year ago, and he's still facing jobbers. So this was a stupid 30-second match. I'll give it 0 stars. Just very retarded. Then we get Reigns and Big Show, two of the most boring wrestlers on the planet. You got Big Show. You know who Big Show reminds me of? Big Show's like when you're driving on the highway and you're cruising going 70, 75, whatever. You know, you're going a nice decent speed there, you know, passing some cars up, maybe some cars are passing you, but you're going a nice speed, you know, just cruising. And then you run in, you know, you're in the middle lane or the left lane, whatever. And then you run into that old grandpa or grandma who's going like 45 miles an hour, and you're like, oh shit, that's the Big Show. The Big Show is the slowest fucking wrestler in the world. He's fat as fuck. He just needs to retire already. You know, he should be in the fucking, you know, in his home, you know, on Weight Watchers, just making sure he doesn't die in 4 years, because that's probably the path he's going on. So you get him and Reigns, just a boring ass match. I will give them credit. That was kind of a nice spear at the end there with Big Show holding his steps above his head, and then they just fall on him. So I mean, that was a good spot, but overall the match was boring. And then you got Reigns, Mr. Five Moves, Roman Reigns. You know, comes down to the ring with fucking hair like he just got out of the swimming pool. And, you know, I hate fucking Roman Reigns. Yet people will say he's great. I don't get what they see, but a boring match. I'm sick of these two retards. I give the match a half-star out of 5. Then we get Nettie defeating Paige, Natalya defeating Paige. Just a boring match that I don't give a shit about. You know, there was the same thing as last week, except Natalya got the win off the distraction because Paige is apparently a face now. She comes down and she's a supporting Natalya, so apparently she's a face now. And they expect us to like know what's going on Total Divas. You know, it's like men don't watch Total Divas, alright? So you can't incorporate Total Divas into Raw. You know, you can't do that. Alright? So, just a fucking... you know, I don't get it. Like 1 week they're heel, then they're face, heel, face. They just keep going back and forth. It makes no sense. So that was, I'm gonna give that one 0 out of 5 stars as well. Then we get Harper defeating Rowan. I will admit the two refs were kind of funny, but you know, again, not that great a match here wrestling wise. It was a short match, and again the Authority's involved. Just like the Authority's kind of involved in the Reigns Big Show, because you can say they were involved in the Reigns Big Show because Big Show is kind of part of the Authority, or at least the Authority supports Big Show. So I give it 1.25 out of 5 stars because I did find the two refs kind of funny, and I do find fucking Noble and Mercury kind of funny together. They're a pretty funny pair. I guess that's one of the positive things with the Authority is those two guys, and Rollins is pretty talented too. Then we get Wyatt defeating Ambrose in an ambulance match. And again, Ambrose loses. Like they want to push this guy. They put him in the main events. They put him in big matches. But he loses all the time. I mean, it just makes no sense. They put him in big matches. When's the last time he's won like a big match? Lost in the Hell in a Cell. Lost this match. And they're making this match like the final battle, you know, between these two. And it wasn't good either. It wasn't that good. I mean, I'll give it 2 out of 5 stars. There was like one good spot where Ambrose jumped off the ambulance onto the table. But I mean, they're really hyping this up as like this big match. Usually when they don't usually announce matches like before, you know, like a week before with Raw, and they did. They announced the ambulance match. First time ever on Raw. You expect it to be pretty good. A lot of hardcore spots, but there weren't many hardcore spots. I mean, it was very underwhelming. I was expecting a lot more from these two. So I give that one 2 out of 5 stars. Then we get Miz and Miz down Alicia Fox defeating the Usos and Naomi. It was a boring ass match. The only good thing about this match was that Miz and Mizdow got a victory. I'll give it a half star out of 5. And, I mean, why the fuck? There's no reason to make this a mixed tag match and involve Naomi and Alicia, especially Alicia Fox. I mean, what relevancy does she have to this feud? None. I mean, they showed like, oh, Alicia Fox is like attacking Naomi backstage, like what the fuck's going on? Like I don't even get it. Like wow, like why is Naomi or why is Alicia Fox involved in this feud? She has no relevancy to it. So that didn't make any sense, and it was boring. But at least Miz and Mizdow picked up the victory. Then we get Kane and Seth Rollins defeating Ryback in a boring match. It was long as fuck. It was like 10 or 15. It had to be like 10 or 15 minutes. At least it felt like that. I'm going to give it 0 out of 5 stars. I mean, you got Kane in there who basically only does punches. That's pretty much all he does is throw punches, I believe. punches, clotheslines, and maybe a kick or two. I don't know. That's pretty much all I see from him. And then you got Ryback in there who, likes to pound his chest. He is better than Kane, but I mean not by much. And Seth Rollins is the only talented wrestler in that group, but you just got Kane and Ryback who bogged down the match too much to even, it was just a shitty fucking match. So that sucked. Then we get the New Day. The New Day coming out there looking like blue retards, facing Adam Rose, two fucking failures, of a fucking. Look at the gimmicks that they debuted in the past year or two. You got fucking Bo Dallas not on TV anymore. Adam Rose, jobber. Bray Wyatt's actually the only kind of success. New Day, jobbers. Matadors, jobbers. Just all of them. Fandango, jobber. I mean, all of them are just jobbers. They totally failed in building new stars in like the past year or two. So this one was pretty shitty. You have the thing that did make it good though was Cesaro coming out there with Kid as a Rosebud. That was actually kind of. It's always good when you see two good wrestlers, like Cesaro and hopefully they look like they're kind of pushing them. So that's good. So I'm gonna give this 1 out of 5 stars for that ending of Cesaro and Kid coming in there and beating up the New Day. So that was good. And then we got the main event. It's not, of course, no, it's not going to be Ambrose and Wyatt. The climax of their feud in an ambulance match for the first time on Raw. Young guys, looking to, go up to the main event, and they probably will be big people in the next 5 or 10 years in WWE. No, it's going to be the Authority. Oh yeah, the Authority has to take the main event. Of course, we got to be in the main event. I'm Triple H, and I got to be in this main event. Because I'm Triple H. I'm fucking 50 years old, but I'm gonna be in the main event, goddammit. And I gotta be in the first segment too, and the main event, because I'm the King of Kings. I'm 50 years old, but no, let's not give it to somebody that's half my age. That's probably gonna, hopefully gonna be in the top of WWE in the next few years. I'm gonna take the main event. So it's him, Stephanie, Triple H, and then, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Kind of funny, a little, not too much, but I mean, a little bit funny jokes. I mean, not where I'm like laughing on the floor or anything, but I mean, kind of a chuckle here and there. Then you got, Cena out there like, just bullshitting around. It wasn't that good. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like god awful, but I mean, it was far from even like average. So I mean, it was far from even decent. It was pretty bad, pretty boring. Same. I mean, look back from a year ago. You had Cena facing Orton, which was like the poster boy of the Authority. Then you flash forward 1 year, and Cena's still feuding with the Authority. So no diversity in this fucking product. Nothing. Same old shit over and over again. So you got some promos that aren't that great, and then you figure out that Roman's fired, which I don't give a shit about. Good. You figure out that fucking Ziggler's fired, which is kind of shitty that he's probably going to be off TV for a little bit. He's actually talented. And you figure out that who's the other one? Fuck, I forgot. See, it's so boring I don't even fucking remember it. But anyway. The 3 guys are fired. I'm trying to think of who the fuck that is. I can't. I fucking hate when I have brain farts like this on my fucking videos. But 3 of the guys are fired. Who is that? Rowan, Ziggler, and fuck. I cannot remember who the fuck that is. I'm trying to picture it in my head. I just watched it like 40 minutes ago. I can't even fucking remember. But I remember the 3rd person was pretty shitty too, so I was kind of glad they were fired. But the ego people, I mean, and then the confetti just starts pouring down. Kind of felt like an awkward ending to me, and a pretty shitty ending too. Like of course the Authority is there again. It's a bunch of bullshit that's not that entertaining, and I don't really give a shit about it. So the show fucking sucks. I'm gonna give it 0 out of 10 stars because the Authority's back, and the Authority fucking sucks. They're garbage. They gotta be egomaniacs because they're on like all the fucking time hogging the spotlight. So there you go, people. There's your Raw review. Show sucked. Show's boring. And show is really going down the toilet. This is gonna be a fucking shitty year of 2015, especially if the Authority stays in power. So there you go, people.